Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the intense drama unfolding in Port Charles, as Willow Tate grapples with overwhelming despair amid a brewing storm of investigations and secrets. In the heart of the latest developments, Willow Tate finds herself plunged into a pit of emotional turmoil as Harrison Chase and Anna Devane push ahead with a crucial search warrant. This move is set to shake up the Quartermaine estate, where suspicions linger about an antique firearm from Edward Quartermaine's collection, possibly being linked to the shocking shooting of Drew Kane. Imagine the tension in the air as law enforcement descends on the iconic mansion, rifling through hidden drawers and forgotten corners, unearthing clues that could rewrite family histories. Willow, already burdened by her tangled web of relationships, might feel the walls closing in, her usual composure cracking under the pressure of impending revelations. Adding to this, her husband Michael Corinthos could be plotting a clever countermove, using some form of leverage to corner her, perhaps evidence that paints her in a suspicious light, or even ties to a mysterious stalker threatening their family. We've seen Willow navigate crises before, but this time, her despair feels deeper, more personal, as if every choice she's made is coming back to haunt her in unexpected ways. Meanwhile, Britt Westburn is gearing up for a no-holds-barred confrontation, delivering a cutting response that could leave her target reeling. Known for her sharp tongue and unyielding resolve, Britt might be zeroing in on someone from her complicated past, perhaps even her own brother Nathan West, whose sudden reappearance has everyone buzzing with questions. What if Nathan's memory loss isn't as genuine as it seems? Picture Britt storming into a dimly lit room, her eyes blazing with accusation, demanding answers about whether he's been manipulated through some sinister programming or mind-altering scheme. Could notorious villains like Caesar Faison or the late Peter August have orchestrated this twisted return, commandeering Nathan's very essence for their dark agendas? Britt's harsh stance isn't just about anger. It's a desperate bid to reclaim control in a world where trust is a rare commodity. Fans will be on the edge of their seats for the grilling session that promises stunning twists, potentially exposing layers of deception that have been simmering beneath the surface for years. Shifting gears, Alexis Davis steps into the fray with a stern warning for Sonny Corinthos, urging caution as new faces enter their orbit. Sonny's budding connection with the enigmatic Veronica Ronnie Bard is raising eyebrows, especially with whispers of her gaining control over the Quartermaine mansion. Following Monica Quartermaine's will reading, Alexis, ever the voice of reason with her legal savvy, might highlight potential red flags, suspecting foul play in how the inheritance shakes out. Perhaps Martin Gray is pulling strings behind the scenes, tampering with documents in a bid for power, a scheme that's bound to unravel spectacularly when the truth surfaces. This warning could stem from Alexis's own history of betrayals, reminding Sonny that in Port Charles, alliances shift like sand, and trusting the wrong person might cost him everything. As Sonny navigates this, it adds another layer of intrigue to his already complex life, blending business empires with personal vulnerabilities. On a brighter note, Giovanni Joe Palmieri is poised to make a pivotal decision that could bring some harmony back to the community. Amid the chaos, Joe might rediscover his passion for the violin, honoring a long-forgotten promise to perform at Donna Corinthos's birthday celebration. Envision the young talent dusting off his instrument, the melodic strains filling the air during a festive gathering, offering a momentary escape from the town's relentless drama. This choice isn't just about music. It's a step toward healing and reconnecting with his roots, perhaps inspired by family encouragement or a personal epiphany. In a place where conflicts dominate, Gio's return to his artistic side serves as a reminder that even in turmoil, there's room for beauty and fulfillment. Portia Robinson's world is about to be turned upside down with news that promises profound changes. As a dedicated doctor and mother, Portia has always balanced her professional duties with family life. But this revelation could be a game-changer, hinting at a positive pregnancy test that reshapes her future. Imagine the mix of joy and apprehension as she processes this, considering how it impacts her relationship with Curtis Ashford and her daughter Trina. This isn't just a personal milestone. It could ripple through their social circle, sparking discussions about legacy, timing, and the challenges of blending families in Port Charles. Portia's strength will be tested, but her resilience might turn this surprise into a source of renewed purpose. As the investigation intensifies, Anna Devane and Harrison Chase execute their search warrant, zeroing in on the Quartermaine residence. The focus on Edward's old gun collection adds a historical twist, evoking memories of the family's storied past filled with rivalries and secrets. This procedural step could uncover not just physical evidence, but also long-buried family skeletons, heightening the stakes for everyone involved. Willow's ensuing despair might tie directly to Chase's shocking updates, where he bends protocol to share details about alleged judge bribery evidence found in Drew's safe. The weight of this information could leave Willow rattled, questioning her alliances and plotting her next move in a high-stakes game of survival. In a quieter moment, Carly Spencer reconnects with Elizabeth Baldwin, providing an opportunity for the two strong-willed women to bond over shared frustrations. Their conversation might delve into their mutual disdain for Britt Westburn's return, reminiscing about past conflicts while finding common ground in their protective instincts. This catch-up isn't mere chit-chat. It could strengthen their friendship, offering emotional support amid the town's upheavals. Across town, Curtis Ashford shares a compelling theory with Portia, possibly speculating about Kai Taylor and Trina Robinson's activities on the night of Drew's shooting. Curtis's investigative instincts, honed from his Pi days, might piece together clues suggesting mischief or hidden motives, adding suspense to their relationship dynamic. This spill could lead to tense discussions, forcing them to confront uncomfortable truths and fortify their bond against external threats. Finally, Jack Brennan arranges a meeting with Jocelyn Jacks, which might involve a new assignment at PCU while reinforcing boundaries, like steering clear of dating S. Vaughn. Jocelyn, with her fiery spirit, is likely to challenge these directives, defying orders in ways that promise more rebellion and excitement. Next, we will learn about the chilling resurgence of Caesar Faison's malevolent experiments that could utterly dismantle Drew Kane's world in Port Charles. Deep in the shadows of Port Charles, the sinister echoes of Caesar Faison's deranged brainwashing tactics are clawing their way back to the surface, threatening to engulf Drew Kane in a nightmare of manipulated minds and fractured identities. Long after his supposed demise in 2018, when his brain was gruesomely extracted for so-called scientific purposes, Faison's toxic influence persists like a virus, infecting those unfortunate enough to cross paths with his twisted legacy. Recent whispers from the set point to Drew as the latest casualty, his once heroic demeanor warped into something unrecognizable through advanced neural tampering that rivals the horrors inflicted on his own son, Nathan West. Imagine the sterile labs where Faison's harvested essence fuels forbidden technologies, blending cybernetic implants with psychological conditioning to create unwitting pawns. In an ongoing game of domination, this revival isn't just a plot twist. It's a calculated assault on the fabric of reality for characters like Drew, whose post-prison life has veered into dark territories of betrayal and ambition, all potentially orchestrated by remnants of Faison's empire hidden in plain sight among the city's elite. Building on this foundation of terror, Faison's death was meant to seal away his reign of psychological torment, but emerging leaks suggest his brain endures in a grotesque state of preservation, perhaps suspended in a high-tech chamber that powers artificial intelligence or memory rewriting devices. This Faison AI could be the key to understanding Nathan's baffling amnesia upon his return, where he crashed back into Port Charles with gaps in his memory that scream of deliberate erasure. During his mysterious absence, fans are buzzing with theories that Nathan was subjected to experimental sessions in a remote facility, his thoughts reprogrammed to forget crucial alliances and family bonds, much like the conditioning that turned him into a reluctant tool in his father's schemes years ago. Now, Drew's own transformation, after his time in Pentonville, echoes this pattern, emerging not as the steadfast Navy SEAL veteran, but as a calculating figure entangled in blackmail plots and illicit affairs that feel alien to his core. Envision Drew in solitary confinement, unknowingly exposed to subliminal messages or neural interfaces smuggled in by corrupt guards, planting seeds of ruthlessness that bloom into his current vendettas against figures like Sonny Corinthos and even his own kin. The connections deepen as speculation mounts that Drew's dramatic shifts from a man of integrity to one wielding power through deception stem directly from a Faison-engineered mind control operation, possibly linked to the enigmatic Jen Sidwell and his deceptive machinations. His ruthless pursuit of custody battles and political maneuvers, including aggressive moves against Stella Henry, paints a picture of a soul hijacked, his free will supplanted by implanted directives that prioritize chaos over compassion. What if the shooting that nearly claimed Drew's life was no random act, but a desperate bid for freedom, a glitch in the programming triggered by his subconscious rebellion, causing him to awaken in confusion amid hospital beeps and concerned faces? This theory gains traction when considering Nathan's parallel struggles. His memory loss might be the result of the same tech, forcing him to rebuild his life from fragments while questioning every recollection. Perhaps a hidden network of Faison loyalists, operating from underground bunkers equipped with cryogenic storage, continues these experiments, using Drew as a test subject to refine the process for broader control over Port Charles power players. Delving further into the horror, Faison's brain rumored to be alive in a jar-like apparatus, pulsating with electrical impulses cooled be the central hub orchestrating these manipulations. From beyond the grave, a macabre relic that defies death through scientific abomination. This setup evokes nightmarish visions of a pulsating organ connected to monitors, feeding data into algorithms that rewrite human behavior, much like how it devastated Nathan by stripping away his memories of love and loss with Maxie Jones. Drew's survival post-shooting, marked by disorientation and unexplained impulses, might represent the first cracks in this control mechanism, a system overload that exposes the puppet strings pulling at his actions. If Nathan's missing years were spent in a similar lab, enduring sessions that erased his identity to serve a greater agenda, it could forge an unlikely bond between him and Drew, men bound by blood and brainwashing, potentially teaming up to dismantle the operation. Yet, this alliance comes with risks, as uncovering the truth might awaken dormant programming, turning allies into enemies in an instant. The potential devastation for Drew hits on multiple levels, eroding his sense of self and shattering the trust of his closest family members, particularly with Michael Corinthos already eyeing him suspiciously amid escalating tensions. Losing his identity to Faison's ghostly influence would compound the tragedy, forcing Drew to question every decision from his congressional ambitions to his romantic entanglements as products of external coercion rather than personal choice. Nathan's plight mirrors this agony, his brainwashed state leaving him adrift, unable to fully reconnect with his past, which in turn breaks the heart of Liesl Obrecht as she witnesses her son's fragmented return. Britt Westburn's own fake death and her quest for mysterious medications in Croatia add another layer, suggesting she orchestrated her disappearance to evade the same technological snare. Perhaps after discovering Faison's brain tech targeting her family line, invented elements like a secret journal Britt kept, detailing encrypted warnings about the AI's reach, could explain her caution, portraying her as a fugitive guardian racing against time to protect her siblings from inherited curses. As the web tightens, the possibility of Drew piecing together these clues could spark a powerful reckoning, uniting Britt, Nathan, and even a hesitant Drew in a crusade against Faison's enduring shadow. This sibling coalition might involve clandestine meetings in abandoned warehouses, poring over stolen files that reveal the extent of the experiments, from neural implants to memory mapping serums developed in Faison's name. However, the price of defiance looms large. Faison's legacy could extend its grasp to the next generation, endangering innocents like young James West or Emily Scout Kane through inherited vulnerabilities, or targeted abductions designed to perpetuate the cycle of control. Picture the terror of parents like Drew realizing their children carry genetic markers that make them prime candidates for the same brainwashing, prompting desperate measures to safeguard them in a town rife with hidden labs and double agents. Ultimately, these revelations promise to unravel the very foundations of Port Charles, exposing how Faison's death was merely a pause in his symphony of madness, with Drew at the center of the storm. Stay tuned as General Hospital delves deeper into this abyss of intrigue and inheritance. Next, we will learn about the pulse-pounding rescue mission where Ava Jerome swoops in to shield Alexis Davis from a vengeful Rick Lansing's deadly ambush. In the heart of Port Charles, where alliances shift like shadows in the night, Ava Jerome emerges as an unlikely hero, poised to intercept Rick Lansing's furious retaliation against Alexis Davis with perfect timing. Fresh off Rick's daring escape from his basement confines, the air thickens with impending danger as he sheds his restraints, like a predator breaking free from a trap. No longer bound and seething with resentment from his prolonged captivity, Rick channels his fury into a calculated strike, his eyes blazing with the kind of unhinged determination that could turn a simple grudge into a catastrophe. Picture the dimly lit corridors of Alexis's home, where the silence is shattered by Rick's stealthy approach, his footsteps echoing like a harbinger of doom. This isn't just about payback. It's a culmination of bottled-up rage from weeks of isolation, amplified by Rick's history of manipulative schemes that have left scars on everyone, from his ex-wives to his own daughter, adding a fresh layer of intrigue. Perhaps Rick has uncovered hidden documents during his confinement, fueling his belief that Alexis orchestrated his downfall with cold precision, pushing him to the brink of no return. As the confrontation escalates, Rick seizes the ominous dagger dispatched by the enigmatic Jen Sidwell, a gleaming relic of past threats that now becomes a tool of terror in his grasp. He presses it firmly against Alexis's throat, his voice a low growl delivering venomous ultimatums that send chills down her spine, promising retribution for every moment of his humiliation. The blade's edge, etched with subtle engravings from its mysterious origins, symbolizes the web of international intrigue Sidwell weaves. But in this moment, it's Rick's weapon of choice to instill fear. Yet, deep down, Rick's paternal instincts flicker amid the chaos. The thought of inflicting fatal harm on Alexis weighs heavily, knowing it would shatter their daughter Molly Lansing Davis, leaving her in a vortex of grief and fractured family ties. Invent a tense standoff where Alexis, ever the sharp-tongued lawyer, attempts to reason with him, her words laced with pleas about Molly's future, perhaps referencing a cherished family photo nearby that humanizes the moment. This hesitation reveals Rick's internal conflict, a man torn between vengeance and the remnants of his humanity, shaped by years of legal battles and personal betrayals that have eroded his moral compass. However, Rick's mental state teeters on the edge of instability, warped by the psychological toll of his hostage ordeal, making him an unpredictable force that no one dares to dismiss lightly. Isolation in that dank basement has festered his paranoia, turning whispers of doubt into full-blown delusions where he envisions Alexis as the architect of all his misfortunes, from lost cases to shattered relationships. His shady past riddled with cons, forged alliances, and ethical lapses amplifies the peril. As Rick has proven time and again, he's capable of crossing lines others wouldn't dare approach. Envision a scene where Rick's hands tremble slightly, not from fear but from the adrenaline of reclaimed power, his mind flashing back to invented memories of betrayal, like a fabricated plot where Alexis colluded with old enemies to frame him. This unpredictability heightens the stakes, transforming what could be a mere threat into a potential tragedy, especially in a town like Port Charles where grudges often escalate into life-altering events, leaving bystanders to ponder the fine line between justice and madness. Thankfully, fate intervenes as Ava Jerome materializes at the precise moment, her arrival a stroke of serendipity that flips the script on Rick's assault. With the grace of a seasoned survivor who's navigated her own share of betrayals, Ava bursts into the scene, perhaps armed with nothing more than her wits and a nearby improvised weapon like a heavy vase. From Alexis's mantle, this timely intervention isn't coincidental. It stems from Ava's growing vigilance, honed by her art world dealings and past brushes with danger, allowing her to sense trouble brewing from afar. Imagine Ava's eyes widening in shock before narrowing with resolve, her quick thinking disarming Rick and pulling Alexis from the brink. In this expanded narrative, Ava might even use her gallery connections to have tracked Rick's movements via a discreet tip from an informant, adding a layer of espionage flair to her rescue. Her actions cement her role as Alexis's savior, turning a moment of vulnerability into a testament to unexpected heroism. In the midst of Port Charles' endless turmoil, this dramatic save builds on the burgeoning alliance among Alexis, Ava, and Christina Corinthos Davis, a trio forged in the fires of shared adversity against Rick's machinations. What started as tentative cooperation has blossomed into a formidable bond, with late-night strategy sessions over glasses of wine where they dissect Rick's weaknesses and plot their next moves. Ava's intervention further solidifies this pact, melting away lingering tensions from past rivalries. Think of Ava sharing a knowing glance with Christina, acknowledging how their combined street smarts and legal acumen form an unbreakable front. Invent a heartfelt exchange post-rescue, where Christina rushes in, her protective instincts flaring, and the women share a group embrace, vowing to stand united against any future threats. This evolving dynamic injects hope into the storyline, showcasing how former foes can become allies when faced with a common enemy, potentially leading to collaborative schemes that extend beyond Rick's captivity. In the aftermath, Rick faces swift repercussions, possibly taking another blow to the head that sends him tumbling back into the basement's gloom, extending his involuntary stay as punishment for his bold escape. The women might convene in a hushed huddle, debating whether to prolong his confinement with reinforced security measures, like installing hidden cameras or enlisting discreet guards from Sonny's network, to ensure he doesn't slip away again. Picture Rick, dazed and defiant, being dragged back down the stairs, his threats muffled as the door slams shut, forcing him to confront the consequences of his desperation. This turn of events underscores the theme of containment, where Rick's drastic actions only deepen his isolation, perhaps prompting reflections on his life choices amid the solitude. Ultimately, Ava's counterattack thwarts Rick's plans in spectacular fashion, her proactive strike ensuring his intimidation tactics fizzle out before they can cause lasting harm. With poise and precision, she leaps into the fray, embodying the resilience that defines Port Charles survivors, turning the tide in a blink. As the dust settles, Alexis, Ava, and Christina regroup to refine their approach, updating strategies that might include legal loopholes or alliances with unexpected figures to neutralize Rick once and for all. ABC General Hospital spoilers tease that these adjustments could unveil even bigger revelations, so keep watching for the explosive fallout.